Hi, my name's Trevor and I want to share with you my experiences from the 3320 online learning course. I found this course quite different from others I've taken in the past in that it was very open and free for me to choose when and how I wish to complete the course material. I'm used to a slightly more structured environment, so I must admit it was a little daunting at first as I was unsure about what direction I even wanted to take in the beginning for each lesson. So, if you feel the same, you're not alone. I remember feeling very in over my head at the start and unsure of what to do, but the instructor did make it very clear that this class was all about collaboration. And honestly, this is my first big takeaway for you. Collaboration is absolutely key. By engaging with the other students, I was able to help formulate my ideas about how I wanted to do both my synchronous and asynchronous presentations, while also supporting those people who got their content out. I encourage you to collaborate with as many people as you can. I made sure to watch and engage with other student submissions and offer feedback. This really helped me decide a path for my own submissions, as well as discover some potential things to watch out for. I really recommend taking in more than the minimum 2 lessons required. Not only are there some great new things to learn, but I really found it interesting to see how people chose to present their topics. I found it a great way to consider some options as I was starting out. Once I had decided on my idea and got a rough start on each project, as I'm not the most tech-savvy guy, I really had to learn how best to film myself and edit the video, upload these to Kaltura, embed the links, use a teleprompter on my phone for my script, which I'm actually doing right now by the way, and so on and so on. I had honestly never done any of these things before, and apart from some basic PowerPoint, had very little experience with media tools. It was very nerve-wracking because I felt unprepared. So, if you're in the same boat as me, don't worry. This is where I feel the open nature of the course really makes sense, and I recommend you to try out multiple options to see what works best for you. You have the time to check out the other student submissions and experiment for yourself. I sincerely recommend diving in and playing around with all the different multimedia tools if you hadn't had a chance to prior. If you ever get stuck, first check all the Moodle modules. There's quite a bit of helpful information on how to do a lot of this stuff already in there. You can also check out what others are doing or just go to YouTube. If, like me, you're intimidated by the idea of having to sell your lessons to people to get them to attend, don't worry. I honestly found the environment very supportive and collaborative. Just make sure you're engaging authentically with other students regularly in their own forum posts, and I think you'll be surprised that you don't really need to sell anything. I do, however, recommend using the class email list as a reminder for your lessons. I had done this for my synchronous lesson about 4 to 5 days prior to the date, and I'm glad I did because a couple people that had confirmed via the forum, unfortunately last minute, didn't make it. Life happens. Speaking of life happening, make sure to test out everything beforehand, especially if you're new to a lot of these presentation tools like me. For example, I had never hosted a Zoom meeting before. I didn't even know how to get the meeting link to post it to the forum. So I used my cell phone and my laptop to test it all out well beforehand. Same with figuring out breakout rooms and screen sharing. But technical difficulties are bound to happen to everyone, so try and have a backup plan if they do pop up. For example, I had an external link to a video in my synchronous presentation, but just in case it didn't work, I had a few slides included as well to have something to present and talk about if needed. As a final note, I really recommend you watch all the posted Pay It Forward videos. There's not only plenty of great info there, but also it's a chance to see how different presentation approaches can work. Take a look, get some ideas, and good luck!